Hello, thank you for taking the time to join us for our welcome evening this year. It's slightly different this year. Obviously we'd normally like to welcome everybody into school to spend an evening finding out a little bit more about what's going on, but we've done it this way this year so we can still share the really important information with you.
St Francis has been part of the Fioretti Trust for 4 years. There are currently 2 schools within the Trust, ourselves and St Barnabas in Erdington. We collaborate with them on many projects, both staff and pupils. I work with the head of St Barnabas and Ms Granger, the CEO of the Trust, to ensure the children maximise their potential whilst they are here at school with us. Attendance at school is really important. Currently we really appreciate the difficulties with children showing symptoms, and it's right for parents and carers to be erring on the side of caution. However, we would strongly encourage you that if the children are not showing symptoms and they are well enough to be in school, to please make sure that they are coming in. If you know that your child needs to be absent for a medical or other urgent appointment, we ask that you please fill in an A1 form, which is available from the office or from our website.
Now the children are back in school, we're asking everyone to please wear their school uniform once again. The uniform requirements can be found on the website. What I would ask and just remind everybody is that everything is labelled. We're not able to run lost property at the moment, so it's really important that all of the children's belongings have their name on them so that they can find them and we can make sure that they're returned to the correct child at this time. PE kits, the children are coming in with their PE kit on their PE day, and I'd suggest that their children wear trainers at the moment rather than pumps, because the majority of their PE lessons will be outside unless it is such inclement weather that it's not safe for them to be outside to do PE. The children will also need a named water bottle every day to bring in to school and remember to bring home with them at the end of the day. Here at St Francis we have 3 school rules: ready, respectful, safe. We find that all of the behaviours that we would expect from the children fit very neatly under these 3 rules. The children need to be ready to learn, ready to listen, ready to go in for lunch. They need to be respectful at all times to each other, to the adults in school, to their environment, to their equipment, and of course to be safe at all times in whatever they are doing. We also have very consistent adult responses. The children will know that all of the adults within school will be looking for them to be ready, respectful and safe at all times. It gives us a common language that we all understand and we all know what the expectations are. It's our job to help them to learn the right behaviours, and we're doing this through a compassionate approach. It begs the question, doesn't it, when do we actually learn to behave? It's something that changes as we grow up, because there are certain behaviours which are acceptable when we're younger, which wouldn't be acceptable when we're teenagers, not when we're adults, and then as we go through adult life, acceptable behaviours change as we go through those. The children's behaviour development is as much a partnership as their curriculum learning. So if we do have to speak to you, it's not personal, we just need to work together to help the children make the right decisions in the future.
Just like to remind you of the procedures that we're asking for your help with at the moment in order to make sure that school is as safe as it can be for everybody involved.
Hello everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mrs Jones. I'm the Year 1 class teacher. I'm also the deputy head teacher, and as designated safeguarding lead, I'm responsible for overseeing the safety and well-being of the children. I would like to introduce you to the rest of our team of trained deputy designated safeguarding leads. If I was ever unavailable, any concerns would be dealt with by them. Mrs Leeming oversees our safeguarding procedures in school as our governor responsible for safeguarding, and we meet regularly to ensure we're doing all we can to keep our children safe and happy. If you ever have any concerns about your own child or another child or family who may be struggling in some way, please do get in touch with us. You can email your child's class teacher, or you can email me directly using the email address on the slide: safedsl@sfps.bham.sch.uk. You will find further information and resources about all areas of safeguarding on our website under the Safeguarding tab. The safety of the children is our highest priority, and we're grateful for your support. Thank you.
We're currently working on our school development plan for this coming year. We will have an ethos focus, as we always do within the plan, and this year it's focusing on the children's mental health and well-being, as well as working towards our Rights Respecting School Silver Award. Maths is going to continue to be a focus area where we're going to be embedding the mastery approach through the Maths No Problem programme that we've got here in school. Over the next few weeks we're going to be completing baseline assessments so we can see exactly where the children are, where their gaps in learning are, so that we can really be tailoring our curriculum to all of those areas that we know that they need to work on, rather than covering things that they're particularly strong in. So we'd rather spend the time in the areas that they're needed. Our curriculum development is still ongoing, and we've moved the subjects around this year to allow us to really take advantage of those subjects that give us the opportunity to do more reading and writing, which gives us the opportunity to engage the children in more reading and writing while still delivering our broad balanced curriculum. We'll also, of course, be continuing to gather evidence towards our Ofsted targets around phonics and the early reading scheme and the learning behaviours of the children. This brings me nicely onto our learning tools. We have 5 learning tools here in school that we use to help the children talk about their learning and give them that recipe for success. We have reflection, which is the mirror, about taking time to stop and think about what they've done and what they can do next in order to make it even better. Exploration is the kaleidoscope, looking for different patterns, exploring different ways to do things. Cooperation is the Russian dolls, about learning how to work together with others to complete tasks. Independence is the passport, about doing things on our own, learning how to be resilient and solve problems independently. And perseverance, Percy our tortoise, learning how to keep going, to not give up and really try hard with our learning.
Reading is the one thing that will give children the greatest advantage in their learning. Evidence suggests that children who read for enjoyment every day not only perform better in reading tests than those who don't, but also develop a broader vocabulary, increased general knowledge, and a better understanding of other cultures. In fact, there's evidence to suggest that reading for pleasure is more likely to determine whether a child does well at school than their social or economic background. If you manage nothing else, please read with your child every day, and for the older children, make sure that they do read every single day.
We will be beginning our relationships education this year in line with the government's recommendation for it to start in 2020. Because we did all of our parental consultations before we were locked down back in February, we were able to actually start with this curriculum this year. As we said, we will be using the jigsaw scheme to frame all of our teaching, and as we agreed, we will be sharing with parents the points at which we will be doing some of those areas you may wish to talk to your children more about before we cover them in school.
All of our day-to-day communications are shared via our school app. Please make sure you have the app downloaded, share it with grandparents if they often come to collect from school, and make sure that you've updated it for the year group that your child is currently in. Any other news will be shared through our weekly newsletter, which is sent out via the app and can also be found on our website, which is also a great source of information about all the things that are going on in school. We also share a lot of information through our Facebook page, our Twitter account, and also on Instagram.
As with many other schools, our funding allocation has been reducing over the last few years because of the new funding formula. However, the cost of running the school, paying the utility bills, maintenance of the building and grounds, completing all of our statutory testing hasn't changed. School Fund, which you may have remembered as the Governor Fund for those of you who have been with us for a while, really does help towards ensuring that we can continue to provide the resources for the children's learning. We're asking for a suggested donation of £8 per term, £24 a year, which works out to just over 60 pence a week per child, which is the equivalent of donating one Costa coffee to school per month. This school fund really does help us to put into place some of those extra things for the children to really enrich and enhance their learning. Another funding stream that we can access is pupil premium. If a family fits the criteria, we can claim their pupil premium grant, which they are entitled to. This helps provide opportunities for the children at school. It might be that can go towards paying for visits that we take, residentials, music lessons, as well as contributing to additional support within the classroom or through intervention groups. Over this time, your situation may well have changed, and if it has, please do get in touch with us in confidence so that we can see whether your children are entitled to this pupil premium funding. If they are, that funding will stay with them for the next 6 years, even if your family situation changes. The children are entitled to this. It's a government commitment to help support the children at school, but we can only access these funds if you give us permission in order to do this. Please do get in touch to see whether you are eligible and your children are eligible for us to claim this money. It really does go a long way to help us supporting the children here in school. Even if you're not sure if you qualify or not, please do get in touch, because it doesn't cost us anything to check, and I'd much rather check and find out that we've got children that we can help support further and we can claim the money for.
The Car Free Streets initiative is once again active at the start and end of the school day, which means that no vehicle should be driving up Teasle Avenue without a pass. If you do need to drive to school, please park at Roe Heath and walk across the park, but we'd much prefer it if you could walk, cycle or scoot from home. The school kitchen's back up and running again, with school dinners being provided for the children every day. They are incredibly good value and also incredibly tasty. It's the one thing the children really missed while they weren't here in school. We'd ask for half a term's notice for any changes to the children's dinner time arrangements. Please let the office know as soon as you know that there might be any changes to what their children are going to have at lunchtime.
We're delighted to have very close links with Bournville Parish Church, which is at the heart of school life. The children have been heard to call it our church. Reverend Gale, the curate, leads collective worship for us every week on a Wednesday, and in normal circumstances is often in school leading projects such as the Lent course or Jesus Trail. She is always on hand to support the children and the staff. Other members of the church congregation also support the school by taking part in our re-lessons and other creative projects. Mrs. Nyack usually leads regular godly play sessions with classes, which help the children to reflect on and explore the meaning of a Bible story. Usually, we would regularly visit the church as a whole school for occasions such as harvest, Christmas and Easter. We would also take part in termly Eucharist services with years 2 to 6 and hold our Leavers service and music evening in church. The children would normally have the opportunity to visit the church separately for a more in-depth visit as part of RE. Our strong links with the church reinforce our Christian distinctiveness and help us to learn more about our high five values, what Christians believe, and how that is reflected in the work and life of the church. We look forward to being able to resume our regular visits to the church and seeing our friends from the church again in person.
Friends are our parent association and all are welcome to join. They do important work in supporting the school. They have an annual iPad repair and renewal programme that they support us with, and also will fund whole school events. Recently they've funded a week-long workshop programme based around The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and also the Secret Garden. I'm currently unsure as to what and how the fundraising will look this year, but please do look out for updates and get in touch with the Friends Committee if you would like more information.
Thank you for your time. If you'd like to take the opportunity now, all of the class teachers have prepared a little segment explaining about what's going on in their classrooms over this year. I hope you found this useful. If there's anything else that we can help you with, please do get in touch and contact us via the school office. Thank you for your time.